one of my hobbies that I don't do that much today is the bird watching. And bird watching is tremendously fun for me when I came to the US. I didn't do any bird watching in Japan, so I didn't know bird is so close to you and available until I did bird watching for the first time in the Seattle, Washington area. Even then, I think why I got interested in the bird watching, I think it's because in the US bird watching is popular, and I don't know why that is. I think I didn't notice in Japan. There's a lot of bird watchers in Japan, but I didn't notice. I think it's because it's more popular in the US. I think what I noticed is that whenever I was walking around the park or something, there's this group of adults, mostly older people, like retired people type of thing, having these binoculars in hand and bird books in hand. They're doing bird watching, and so I think that's when I got kind of curious. But I think because of my nature lovers, always interested in the birds. I think 1976 I came to Seattle, and then I have a host family and who lived in Bellevue, Washington, which is suburbs of Seattle, and so I was like visiting there, and my host family mother was telling me, oh, that's a jay, that's a Stellar's jay, and it is blue birds, but its head is a little bit darker blue. And she was telling me, oh, I'm from east, and I used to know the blue jays, but you don't see West Coast blue jays, only you see the Stellar jay. That's when I noticed the first birds, maybe. Then in the campus of University of Washington, there's a lot of quail in one season that's walking around the campus. And quail, California quail, is a very kind of funny looking birds, and I think they breed in the nest somewhere on the ground, I would say. So they are not afraid of people. So the kids and the adult birds are walking around the campus, and I was watching them. That's California quail. Then I have a very good friend who had a cabin in the mountain of Idaho. So he took me I think that's maybe the summertime, to that cabin, and we stayed there for a week or something like that. And then that's what I remember the first time I did bird watching with my binoculars and bird book. And so when I was kind of excited to know I can do bird watching. I didn't know what kind of birds I would see, but when I first time went out alone around that mountainous area, and in my view in the binoculars, I saw this huge bird, very beautiful face and whiskers, and it turns out that was flicker. And of course flicker I never seen in Japan, and so since then I was hooked, and I try to look for more birds there, and but particular image of flicker showing in my binoculars view, it was, you know, tremendously exciting, and like you know, you haven't done before, something that you get so excited. And so yeah, it was kind of a eye-opening, my beginning of the bird watching. And I saw the red crossbill at that time, and that was also, I could recognize the bill. You know, the bill is the crossed, something like you know, with the finger, something like this. So that I remember. So those two birds I remember on that particular Idaho trip. And so that's in Seattle. I think yeah, I think then I went to Iowa. I saw lots of eastern birds. You see, in the Seattle is the western birds there. Definitely, like you know, Peterson's bird guide and so forth. You look, there's a Eastern American bird book and a Western American bird book. They are kind of different. The different birds live in the eastern part of the United States and the western part of the United States. So in Iowa, I saw lots of birds like cardinals, goldfinch, and red-headed woodpecker. Red-headed woodpecker, I kind of remember when I was driving the Iowa countryside, and all of a sudden, you know, the rolling hill countryside in Iowa, there's lots of like road, very nice road, but not so many traffic. So this particular road, a narrow road, but it's paved, and I was driving, and I saw lots of birds dead on that road, hit by a car. And that is very striking, because this dead bird has a red head, and you know, of course, the blood is smudged, smidged in the head area, and so that's a red-headed woodpecker. Evidently, red-headed woodpecker are so abundant in that particular Iowa countryside, and even one car driving there, and then they hit the car's window or whatever, so he just you know, dead driving. I mean, the dead are flying, and that is something very unique in a countryside of Iowa, in the particular area where abundance of the particular bird existing, flying all over the place. And that's why I noticed, wow, you know, that's very interesting phenomena here in the US. And so in Iowa, I got to know many birds. I mentioned the cardinal and the eastern, the blue jays already, and I have a list of things here. The kestrel, American kestrel, also I noticed very beautiful birds, and goldfinch is also very striking. When you see, mostly they come to the sunflower seed flowering, you know, flowers finish the sunflowers, and they come to the seed to eat. That's a goldfinch. And then eastern bluebird is also very common there. They have this eastern bluebird nest in a nest box. I think people who are conserving the nature or something, they put this certain height of the tree, they put this bird house where the bluebird nesting. This particular bluebird is not completely blue though. It's like a red berries, and the back is blue. And the other thing is bluebirds also is called the indigo bunting. Indigo bunting, it has this cerulean color, blue, very striking. And it's when you see them through binoculars, this particular cerulean blue color is like popping out, and yeah, it's a beautiful bird. And so that's pretty much like yeah, Iowa experience. And then in Michigan, during that Iowa, I went to Florida. Florida has Everglades National Park, and of course it's lots of birds there. And so one day I was walking, looking for the birds in the Everglades National Park, and all of a sudden in my view there is this colorful birds called painted bunting appeared there. But particular birds I was looking for, because it's so unique, so colorful birds, that I have to see this in the US. And so I was looking for it all the time. Whenever I go to the south, I look for it, but I never see it. But this particular bird was the this bird feeder that this particular Everglades National Park office has. Outside the office there's a yard, and there's a bird feeder there, and they are feeding these birds, and one of them is the painted bunting. And so that was the only time I saw painted bunting, and first time and the last time as of today to see the painted bunting. But it was very striking experience. And yeah, that's pretty much one of the birds that corkscrew preserve. There's I think north of Everglades, there's a corkscrew nature preserve or something like that. And one of the birds you have to see in this area is called ihinga. Ihinga is like a shorebird, and it's a very old bird, and it's kind of near extinction. So I have to see that, and this particular corkscrew is famous for identifying that particular bird. And of course I saw that, and that was kind of interesting. And then I went to Michigan, right? Michigan has a very nice areas called the Point Pelee. Point Pelee is Lake Erie's, the north side of Lake Erie. So if you drive from Detroit and cross the border to Canada and go into the Point Pelee, there's Point Pelee sticking out to the Lake Erie. And so I think the birds are migrating at that particular time, migrating and kind of crossing the Lake Erie, and you see lots of them, because those migrating birds, small birds, warblers are very small, and those are kind of tired, and so you reach this particular point called Point Pili, and they kind of rest there or tired or something, so they don't move anything. So many tourist bird watcher are there walking around this Point Pili with narrow strip of area, and but they don't care. They just like a few feet away, they just perch on the ground or the trees or whatever. So it's very easy. So this is a popular place for the particular time of I think spring migration, and you see a lot of them. So they're like a black Burnion warbler, yellow warbler, pine warbler, all kind of redstart, and the Scarlet Tanager, I saw that there too. And it's very the fun moment for me that I cannot forget. But particular trip I did just one day, just driving up there and saw those all kinds of different warblers. Warblers I have never seen. It's very difficult to see because only there are small birds, and only you see them during the migration time. And so yeah, that was a fantastic experience. Then went to Colorado, right? Colorado, I saw mostly what I remember is the mountain bluebird. Mountain bluebird is different from the eastern or western bluebird. Eastern bluebird, the western bluebirds are different, but their back is blue and the tummy is kind of a brownish color. But the mountain bluebird is a little bit smaller maybe, but the entire body is blue, and it's striking to see them. And so Colorado, Rocky Mountain National Park, for example, in a certain time of the year, if you are lucky, you see them everywhere, flying around, just very close by. And so it's kind of stunning sights there. Those are mountain bluebirds, and of course the bald eagle. Bald eagle, I think I saw it in Iowa too, but in Colorado you see more. And mostly you see them like on top of the tree, the nesting. You see the single birds are perching there. And also in the front you see the white head, and so that's very conspicuous and impressive. And so yeah, and also osprey, you can see in a certain area of the Colorado. When I went to this Lake Dillon area of the Dillon's and Frisco type of area, you see this particular nest. I think that campsite has this trail going to the particular nest site, and every year I go, I see this osprey nest, because this particular tall tree just has this osprey nest there. And every time I go during the summer, there's a osprey is occupying the particular nest. So that's very interesting. And wood duck, yeah, it's very common in Colorado. Wood duck is very colorful patterned ducks, unlike the mallard duck, a little bit smaller, but also a little bit shy probably, because you don't see close by that much. But once in a while you see them when you're walking around like a creek or something like that. You see them, and they can get away from you, hikers or whatever. And so yeah, that is the wood duck. And so yeah, and yeah, so now, yeah, I feel like yeah, I saw the grackle and long-tailed grackle here in Texas, and white-winged dove, Texas, and the scissor cross nut catcher, and those are very unique birds here. So I think I like to go back to bird watching, because bird watching could be very nice hobby for young and old, of course. And unfortunately, when I try to capture through the video or camera, you have to have a better camera to do so. So you have to have a nice tripod, and you have to wait all day to see just one bird's picture. I see in the YouTube lots of bird watchers or bird enthusiasts post this YouTube video about birds, and it's fascinating hobby, I would say. I wouldn't be like that, I don't think I would be the video maker of the birds, because that's tremendously costly, and also patience. You need the patience to wait until bird come to you very close by, that you can take a picture of it, or the video of it. Yeah, I don't know how they do it. They capture those video beautifully with telephoto, of course, but it's beautiful, and I see that that particular hobby could be very rewarding. Yeah, so when you get older, you really enjoy those nature, and one of the things is that bird watching, and also wildflower watching, wildflower identification, tree identification, and weed identification itself. All kinds of weed, grass is also very interesting. Grass is very difficult to identify, because usually they have just the leaves, right? And so it's very difficult, but I started doing that when I was in Colorado, and it was fun. Yeah, so identification itself, tree, birds, flowers, grasses, mushroom maybe, and all kinds of things. I think if you are interested, very nice hobby. So yeah, I like to keep it as a future, maybe more like to do bird watching. And unfortunately, I don't think I can go to overseas. I did some bird watching in Japan after I became familiar with skills of bird watching. I went to Japan for the first time, and I saw lots of birds in Japan, which I used to know the name of it but never seen it before, and I saw it there. And so yeah, that's very nice. Europe, I tried to do that, and I think I remember seeing some birds, probably in London or someplace like that, but I didn't have much time to do that. The trip is so short, and yeah. But wherever you go, I think you want to bring your binoculars and bird book or something, and do that. Of course, there's a lot of places like Africa, South America, Mexico, New Guinea area. You see lots of different birds, and thinking about birds, and they are descendants of dinosaurs. So you feel like everybody like dinosaur, right? They are gentle, big creature, and but they are, if you don't see the dinosaur today, that's the birds. When you see the birds, you can kind of visualize the dinosaur there. So yeah, I think that's what I like to convey to you guys, especially people who are retired and looking for the new hobby or something. Bird watching I really recommend, because it is a nice hobby, and if you get to know the different birds in a different area, and of course the birds lives in a particular certain area, even in your small community, and you have a water, more water or lake, or you have a mountains. There are tremendously different birds there. So yeah, I would recommend that you do that.